specific questions regarding some of the incidents the last few days. We see if we can answer those. So, first of all, let me say that the mayor apologizes for not being here. I talked to him at length about what we were doing today. He had his support, but he's tied up. As you all know, we've had 2 shootings recently involving youth. And we had Quantel Braxton, age 14, who was killed Saturday, near 17th in Morgan. Last night we had a 13-year-old boy killed near 17th in Russell at about 9 p.m. A 12-year-old boy was also wounded in that shooting. We have seen a rapid and, as of yet, unexplained increase in gunplay and gun violence in the neighborhoods around those shootings, specifically between the area between Plymouth and Golden Valley Road and Lyndale and Theodore Worth Park. Very unusual since it involves a lot of younger youth, 11, 12, 13 years old, being seen running with groups in those areas. This is something we're going to try to stop, and we need the help and support of the community. And that's why I've asked you all to be here today. I need to get out the following message. First, if they know anything about the recent shootings, obviously we would ask them to call. And we have a tip line, 612-692-TIPS, T-I-P-S. Secondly, I'd like to ask them to continue to watch and call. Anything suspicious, call us, 911. If they see groups, large groups that are roaming that make them uncomfortable, please call us. We are going to have extra resources in that area, and I'll get to that. We need them to try to keep their children out of harm's way. Know where your kids are, get them in the early evening hours. Try to help us out that way. Also need them to support the additional officers and investigators we're going to have work in this area. We are going to add extra resources to that area, and we want their support of those individuals. We also would want them to talk to those officers if they have information that would be helpful in what we're dealing with here. Give that information to those officers. So I'm going to ask Councilmember Don Samuels to add a message as he's his ward. And Councilmember?
Good afternoon. This recent spate of violence, as the Chief has said, is somewhat puzzling to all of us. We've had a year that is pretty unprecedented in terms of the fall in violence. And we know that is due in part to the change in attitudes on the streets, where people have been more willing to talk to the police and to come forward with what they know about crimes. That kind of put to rest the don't snitch era that had proceeded in the last previous few years. What we want to do now is to make sure that we do not retreat, because this is a rash of homicides or violence, that neighbors and residents continue to be more forthright in reaching out to the young people in the community and reaching out to the police about those who would harm them. It is really very important. You might see something you consider to be relatively minor, but if it's related, it could be a major deal. And neighbors should stay strong. This is the same north side that existed 3 months ago, where crime is still at historic lows. And if we band together as a community, we can sustain, and this will become a small rash in the middle of an otherwise good year. It's partly up to us.
And you want to say something? Didn't see you here.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. This is, as Councilmember Samuels mentioned, unusual blip in our successful effort to work with the community and our public safety personnel to, make some very positive changes in the community. And so the message is very clear. We all need to work together to make those changes and to continue to strive in that direction. And thank you, Chief, and everyone who's been participating in our success.
I'm going to ask EJ to Smith to come here today. He's been working in this area a lot this summer. I don't know if you're prepared to say something, but.
Well, I just want to say, just like we came together for the tornado, we need to come together, families, communities, youth, community agencies, churches. We all need to come together to fight against the senseless violence against our kids. Our kids don't deserve this, and it's up to all of us. We can't expect the police department to do everything. We have got to bring resources, and we've got to do something. Thank you.
And so we'll take any questions you might have at this time.
How are these kids getting a hold of these guns?
Sorry. Start with Blake, sir.
How are these young kids getting a hold of these guns? Do we have any idea of, are they guns from their parents, or what is it?
Good question. Anybody got a good answer for that one?
Well, there's a number of ways, from burglaries, from folks that sell guns. There's people that's all they do for a living, is sell guns. And they don't care who they sell them to. There's people that say they love a kid or love another person and will buy guns for them. So there's a lot of different ways that the gun shows, and all kinds of ways that guns get to our kids.